Hi, I'm Bob Armstrong. I'm from CE Pro Magazine, and today I am speaking with Sean and Matt Herbster from Audio Innovations. Sean and Matt helped me to, well, they didn't help me, they did the install for a review or a pair of reviews that I'm working on. One for Access Networks and one for the newly released Crestron Home system. Sean and Matt are veteran installers in the greater Boston area, and they've been serving the residential and commercial markets for a number of years now. Guys, thank you for taking part in this call today.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, let's start with the Crestron questions. How long have you been a Crestron dealer, and as a veteran integrator, what excites you most about the Crestron Home product line?
So we became Crestron dealers probably almost, well, so certainly over 20 years. It's been 22 years, I believe it is. And they hadn't changed a whole lot in those 22 years. But now along comes Crestron Home about a year ago. And what really excites us about Crestron Home is the opportunity for us to go after an entirely new client base. It allows me to go after more clients because you can turn up systems much faster, and it takes away some of the fear that the clients have about having this custom programmed system that, you know, some people were a little leery of. And, you know, gone are the days of this big, huge programming bill that would make a client also leery. You know, what if I fall out of love with my dealer? You know, am I stuck with this system or whatever? So that it takes away a lot of the resistance from that aspect. One of the other nice things is it gives the client a clean and easy user interface that's universal across all of their Crestron systems. So if I do a control system up here for a client and they have somebody down in Florida do another Crestron Home system, then they're going to have the same user interface basically for those two homes, which is really nice, even though two completely different companies programmed it.
Okay, Matt, let me ask you from your perspective. You guys have a good working relationship. Sean, you kind of take the in-field stuff, and Matt, you come in and handle the heavy lifting in terms of the networking, setup, configuration, as well as the Crestron programming. How's Crestron Home been from your perspective?
So it's a really interesting debate. There's a lot of programmers, such as myself, who've gone through a very rigorous certification process with Crestron, who were leery about this product when it came out. What can it do? What can it do? Why are things a certain way? And I think what we found at Audio Innovations was, not only am I a programmer for our company, but I'm also a partial owner in the business. And what's important is to balance those two things out, as well as being able to get home at night. That's nice sometimes. But the reality of it all is, as a business owner, it really excites me because I can sell more systems, I can get them installed, I can get them done quicker. No longer are the bottlenecks on me as a programmer to have this massive multi-week block at the end of a project to getting things done. Instead, now it's just turning the keys over to clients and then working on customization, which I always find to be the most fun anyways. I think gets the biggest smiles out of the clients when you are asked to do something for them and they can just do it quickly.
Great. Let me ask you guys, drawing upon your 20 plus years of experience, how does the new home product line fit into today's landscape of the smart home and all this emphasis on lighting and environmental and everything else that is currently buzzing about the term smart home?
So obviously smart home means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So it can be anywhere from, some people think it's turning on a light bulb from your phone. For me, smart home is something a little bit beyond that. Sure, it involves being able to pick up your phone and turn on and off your lights, but it also, to me, means I want to have my house be much simpler to use. You got somebody with a large house, maybe they have 13 14, 15 thermostats in that house, and they want an easy way to set back the heat when they leave the house. Those are smart things. Maybe you integrate it with some voice control, and you can walk into the house and say, hey, set the house up the way that I like it. Those are things that I think that's a smart home. Beyond just going beyond just turning on and off lights, it's having the home be able to almost anticipate what your needs and wants are in any particular room that you're going into.
Okay, so Matt, would you say that Crestron Home perfectly symbolizes or represents what a modern smart home is capable of?
You know, I think it really does. And I think one of the most important parts of the equation, and to go back to what John was alluding to, is we can only push technology to a certain point, and then, yeah, maybe we do have to step in and do some custom things. And this platform does allow us to do that. So if we do run into roadblocks and things like that, where we can't make the house exactly work the way we want it to, we can lean back on our years of programming knowledge to create the tasks at hand and make them happen. So I think that you're very, your bases are covered. You just have to be creative.
Okay, taking a look at my particular install, obviously it was a lot simpler than a lot of the systems that you typically do, but it was a retrofit into an existing home, and there were several system upgrades that you guys made during the course of the install. How prepared does Crestron make you to handle scenarios like mine, where it's a retrofit with older gear in it, as well as new systems going into brand new homes, large square foot homes? How does Crestron help you guys deal with the many different types of scenarios you run into?
So I think being prepared for a retrofit situation such that yours was, and a lot of other systems are, it's really up to the dealer. The dealer has to go to that person's house. They have to walk through the house. They have to look at what's in the house. What products are you controlling? And this goes for any control system. You need to know that the products that the client has in the house are going to work with the control system that you're going to try and sell them. And sometimes that might steer you towards one control system or another. But one of the things that Crestron allows us to do is they allow us to lean on their design network that they have down there, which they will help us make sure that if we put a list of products in front of them that we're trying to control, they will help us find a product that'll allow that to be successful. As an example, your projector was at the back of the room and we had no way of getting a wire back there. So they had a Wi-Fi device which allowed us to get IR back to your projector and control your projector very easily without having to pull wiring across the floor or through the ceiling, or it would have been very difficult. They also have another device that does RS-232, and obviously we can get IP back there too through various different methods. But utilizing the Crestron design department is something that we do on almost every single job we do. And even after 20 years of doing this, we still find that they are very, very helpful in making sure that our systems are properly designed and engineered and that the outcome is a success.
Okay, Matt, looking at my system in particular, would you say that flexibility is the key to the system that you guys installed? You did a lot of nice programming things to the system, and you specified some provisions into the system where if something happens, I have the ability to kind of deal with different situations. Is the reliability and flexibility the keys to the success of the home platform?
They 100% are. I think a good design comes, kind of encompasses all of those things. You know, it all starts at the network and works its way out from there. Being able to make sure that everything's well organized, well labeled, that we know where all the wires are going and what's connected to what. That just makes the process that much easier. And again, ultimately to get to the final hurdle, which is to get those customizations done to make the house really sing. As long as you get all those components in order to start, you get to that end point a lot faster.
And I think they're heading towards being more flexible. Right now, they're somewhat limited. They're only a year old. This product is less than a year out of the gate right now. So there are certain products that don't work yet with Crestron Home. That the list of products that it actually works with is expanding extremely rapidly. So it's kind of interesting that that we're going to see it become more and more flexible over time, in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
What you know, it's insane how much products they've started to control in 1 year. It's incredible. You know, IP cable boxes and things like that. If you work within the Crestron Home architecture, the success for Crestron Home is huge. And not only is it huge, but our clients are expanding their systems way beyond what they initially said that they would do. We had a client who said he wanted nothing to do with lighting. We put in a Crestron Home system in his house. We got it all up and running. And when he saw how fast that system was integrated up and running, he spent $40,000 on lighting. And that was all money in our pocket. That never would have happened if we had done other control systems, because, you know, he just loved this thing so much.
Okay,
Yeah, and I'll say one other thing, just to add into that too, Bob, is that we have a really tight working relationship with Crestron, and I think that the two things that are really important to me are the people behind it, and there are people that we can lean on day in and day out to make sure that we deploy a successful product. And if we have questions, there's a very large group of people that want to see this succeed.
Yeah, there's no better business partner than Crestron.
Yeah, they want to make sure that you're happy, that your client's happy, and that you're moving on to the next job. I don't think there's anyone else in the industry that does it as well as they do. And they also want to make sure that there are programs in place too, that as an installer and as a design build person in the field, somebody who recommends you, they get a benefit as well. So there's really quite a few things here that you tie them all together, it really makes this wonderful platform. And then the other thing too is, like John was saying, it's not perfect out of the gate. It doesn't control everything, because that's what Crestron's full integration package is there for. But it is rapidly growing. I can't tell you when the last time I've had a platform that I've really been excited every time a release date comes around to see what's next. We get beta releases and things like that, so I guess we get to cheat it a little bit and see things in front. But when things like cameras and other things come up, we get to see them, and it's exciting. It's really exciting for us.
Okay, let me ask you both this question. Going forward, as the market evolves and the smart home industry continues to gain popularity, you know, with the mass market, in what ways will Crestron help you to keep up and stay ahead of the market curve?
So to stay successful in this new market, it's really about speed and efficiency. The system scopes are shrinking a little, or system budgets are shrinking a little bit. And if you want to compete in a shrinking budget market, then you have to be faster, you have to be more efficient. And one of the things that we found is we can send our mid-level techs to a job site and they can program Crestron Home and it's very successful. If I can send my mid-level techs to program a system and I don't have to send my master certified programmer to all these jobs and he can maybe focus on some of the commercial stuff that we're working on, then that allows us to deploy more work. It allows us to sell more product, and it allows us to be much more competitive. It also gets, the more systems you get out there, the more your name gets out there, the more clients refer you, and it's a snowball effect. And Crestron Home, without question, has allowed us to be much, much, much more profitable as a company, efficient as a company, and our clients are just falling in love with it.
Okay, Matt, and your thoughts?
I think John nailed them all there. I mean, it's really a matter of my skill set has gone from, building the entire infrastructure from the beginning to the end, and kind of having this vision. I've actually been able to shift my vision to working on the cool features. We had a request come the other day for it's actually a true story of a project that we won because of the ability to execute this. Client was already kind of married to Crestron Home. We were in a multi-bid situation. And one of the things that set us apart was the fact that we were able to reach out, and this is the weirdest request, but we're all familiar with those Christmas lights in the windows, right? Right around Christmas time, everyone throws them in the window, and then you turn them on. Yeah. And then you have 15 windows in your house and you walk around and you turn 15 of them on. And then the morning rolls around and you either don't turn them off or you turn 15 of them off. And you do that every single day from about November 15th till about January 15th. So this particular client was interested in that. However, they didn't want to go to, what are we up to? 75 windows in the house? Something along those lines. They didn't want to go to 75 different devices and turn them on and off every day. So unfortunately, the electrical in this project was done. So other integrators in this project were requesting an additional wire be run to every single outlet in the house times 70 windows, which was going to be super expensive. We were able to do this leveraging a different technology. So one of the entry-level lighting control systems is Insteon. And Insteon makes this really cool system that you can take these outlets and pop them in the wall. We were able to go back, reverse engineer some protocol calls, and get this client up and running. We demoed it to them, and that's what put us over the edge for that project. So it's very flexible out the other end. And where my skill set's now coming in is, instead of bringing the system to life and spending the time to make sure every room is working the way it is, we're getting all that kind of under the hood and built into Crestron. And then we're able to go on to the hard, more complicated, more fun stuff and just sort of focus on that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I want to thank you for taking time today to speak about Crestron, to learn more about audio innovations on and Matt's business. Please go to aihometheater.com.